Right, Dean. Donald Trump's at fault for this war. That's why the petrol prices are up. Maybe. Look, I think that's actually a lever that our government's using to fucking rape us and pillage us. Remember, this managed decline's been going on for fucking 40-odd years. I keep saying 40-plus years because some smarmy prick goes, well, it's been going on longer than that. It's been on a fucking long time, far too long. Now, what's going to happen is the following, right? Petrol and diesel are going to keep going up. I suspect we're going to hit $5 by Easter at this rate. Trucking companies are going to stop. Farmers are going to stop. We're going to be absolutely fucked. And then there's going to be food shortages because we have no food security. We have no fuel security. We have no energy security. And we're one of the biggest producers of energy on the planet. Here's one for you, right? Here's a negotiating tool for you, Albanese, you fucking spastic. When you're ringing your mates overseas going, we need diesel, we've got no diesel, which I know you're not really doing because you like this. This is part of your plan. But if you were a fair dinkum Aussie leader, here's what you do. You get on the phone and go, right, until we've got all the diesel we need, none of you cunts are getting any coal. No coal for you. Coal, stop. We're not exporting shit. We haven't got any diesel to send it. You're not fucking getting it. No more gas. Fuck you to the moon. Nothing for you until we are looked after. Until the Australian people are top of the food chain, you get nothing. And then, of course, there is the alternative concern to that, which is, well, what if they decide to come and take it? Because let's be fair, and this is not an insult to our military, but our military capabilities is basically the couple of warplanes out at Timor and some dinghies and fucking tinnies out on Timor's Lake Centenary. Our military is certainly not at the strongest state it's ever been in its history, unfortunately, which is embarrassing. And you know, a big part of that is because our military has been demonised. Our diggers get demonised. They get no fucking support. So why would anybody want to go and fucking put their hands up to potentially fight for this country? My brother came back from Rwanda a mess. And it's not an insult, big fella. I'm just saying, you know, you came back, you saw what you saw, you went through what you went through, and these fuckers hung you out to dry. Because you go off and you put your hand up to fight for this country, and when you get back, of course, the politicians and bureaucrats see you as a problem. Look what they're doing to people like Ben Roberts-Smith. Did he do some war crimes? I don't fucking know. I'm not going to sit there and have that argument with you right now, but here's what happens. You train war machines, you send them off to war-torn areas where cunts are fucking magically exploding on contact, and some foul shit went down. Well, that's what you send them there for. You want to send them there, and then you want to know why they're not politically correct. You train killers, and then you send them to war zones, and then you're upset that they're not politically correct. You people are retarded. And then when they come back, you treat them like absolute fucking scum of the earth. Fuck you. That's why our military is weak. That's why we're in all sorts of trouble. But if we're going to do anything to improve this country at this stage, first levers I'll be making if I'm Prime Minister, if I'm King, if I'm Lord, if I'm the Mayor of the whole fucking shit show, would be I'd be ringing China and I'd be ringing fucking America and I'd be ringing every fucking body. I'm going, here's the bottom line, we're not moving shit. Nothing leaves Australia until we've got enough diesel to get this shit show back running appropriately, and we never let it happen again. We go, all contracts null and void. No more gas goes offshore until we're getting more gas royalties and things than we get out of our fucking Aussies that drink beer. Right? When that tax is levelled out, when those sort of things are levelled out. Now, I hate all taxes, but Australians should be paying the least amount of taxes when we're sending the most amount of resources overseas. Australians first, fuckheads. That's not that hard to comprehend. Right? And obviously we don't have a leader anywhere near Parliament that's got the balls to implement any of that, not even a fucking degree of it, because we're run by cowards and spineless pricks. Now, what do I honestly think is the cause of this war in fucking Hormuz? Now, I've got a bit of a jigsaw puzzle in my brain, I know, and people go, but what about? I don't think Trump's playing 4D chess or anything like that. I do think there's an element of get people away from the Epstein files. Absolutely. I think he's covering up for a bit of that because a lot of his mates are fucking in there, whether he's in there or not. You know, as far as eating babies and shit goes and fucking rooting children, if he is, he should be fucking wood chippered with the rest of them. If he's protecting them, he needs to fucking absolutely come down like a fucking ton of bricks straight into that wood chipper. Fuck him. But I do think a big part of it is the petrodollar he's trying to protect. The petrodollar, for those of you who don't understand, is it's a unit of measurement, for a better lack of term, but a big contingent on the world using that and leaning on America as a as the global currency, as the reserve currency, is that Strait of Hormuz is under the protection of the US. So as opposed to these lunatics in Iran being in charge of it, the US is supposed to be protecting it and ensuring that it's an absolute safe haven to transport all these goods. Now, in the event which for the last 20, 30 years has been getting weaker and weaker over there, and effectively Iran runs the show, and they bomb whoever they want, which they're showing they can do now, they've got missiles that'll nearly hit London. Shitting yourself? Yeah, you should be, because they're fucking psychos. These people blow up their own babies if they fucking, they don't care. I actually think that it's a bit of a last-ditch effort to validate the US as the global currency, because the minute the US isn't the global currency, they're fucked. They've got more debt than Australia. Australia's got $1 trillion worth of it. The US has more of it, and it collapses the minute that the petrodollar and the US government is not the reserve currency. And I know with the Strait of Hormuz being under, effectively, it's the fucking Wild West over there at the moment, a lot of countries are starting to look for alternative-based currencies that they can hitch their wagon to. Russia, China. Where are we going for a stable economy? Fuck, do we need to look at rupees and rubles or whatever the fuck? I honestly think that this is a last-ditch attempt from Trump to potentially save America's reserve currency status, lean in on the petrodollar, and create some sort of confidence in these other nations that America isn't an empire at the end of its shelf life. And I honestly think, statistically and looking at historically more so than statistically, I'm not a statistics guy, I'm a historical guy. Historically, I think that's where America is in the cycle. I think it's where Britain was before the pound sterling shit itself. I think America is sort of where Roman Empire was before it fell. I think they're on their last throws, and that's going to create an awful lot of upheaval. I think this is Trump's last throw of the dice to go, we're going to get another 100 years out of the US being the top dog on the planet. And could be right, could be wrong. You tell me what you think in the comments.